Vlog number 14, October 14th, 1708, day 4. So I do these videos spontaneously, and I feel that spontaneousness is very important because it allows the actions from the higher self to come down into the lower body without the lower body trying to premeditate what to express. Frankly, spontaneousness is pretty important in the universe. It's one of the attributes, I would say, of the Creator, at least what I know of the Creator. So in these videos, I don't go back and edit any of it. I just record everything right off the bat, and whatever comes to mind, I just speak of it. And before doing this video, I actually did another video talking about some other things, and I ended up screwing up that video. So I had to stop it, unfortunately. And I thought to myself, you know what? Because you premeditated it before you started the video. You weren't being spontaneous at the moment. So why don't you just talk about being spontaneous instead of premeditating everything? So there you go. There's a subject of this video. At least one of them will be spontaneousness. And just learning to just come out with it and not worry about what other people think of you and just say what's on your mind, basically. It's kind of important because day 4, I know I don't talk about my number system yet too much. I'm still trying to get on my feet and learn how to support myself and learn how to get enough faith in myself to get it over, done and over with. But just to give a preview, day 4 has to do with balancing out your higher and lower selves, basically trying to keep your psyche from being entrapped in the sensual reality, and basically letting your higher self talk through your lower self. And it can appear spontaneous for sure. Yeah, so there's a big lesson there. It's amazing how people are just like stuck in their habitual fields. Like they build a huge habitual field around themselves and then become enslaved to their habits to the point where it obfuscates the view of their higher self. And they just don't understand like how reality works because of it. The whole view is obfuscated. So it's like they're programmed to think that that view is evil, and they have to obfuscate themselves all these habits and sensuality. And of course, their mind is going to say sensuality is the best, and it's just to follow that. And it's all backwards. It's basically just all backwards. I like to call this place backwards land because of it. They just like don't even know how to help themselves. They're just addicted to self-sabotage, and all that stuff. And it looks like my battery's getting kind of low, so I don't know how long this video is going to be. So if it just gets cut off all of a sudden, it's because, well, the battery died. So anyway, just again, that was very spontaneous. So it's a very good example of that. It just came out of nowhere, and I decided just to talk about it. Even it's kind of important because it might just get cut off. So there's that. Of course, there's other attributes too. Faith is another thing that has to deal with 4, having faith in oneself. And a lot of this is coming from the higher self, actually. So if you have a connection with your higher self, then faith is not so much an issue. And you can just like come out with whatever, and as long as your chakra is all spinning in the correct speeds and not clogged up with anything, so on. Unlike my solar plexus, then you should be fine. So there's that too. What else? Let's see. Just personal notes on my end. I have to do something, and of course I know what that means, but basically I have to learn how to have enough faith in myself to stand on my feet and work for myself instead of a capitalist corporation. In other words, working for my dream instead of working for someone else's dream and essentially being a wage slave for that dream. So I've got to learn how to, do that. It seems like so overwhelming because there's all this business stuff. There's the act of keeping a budget, and I'm just every single time I try to keep a budget on paper or on the computer, it eventually goes awry for whatever reason. So I just keep a budget in my head, and that usually works. I don't have to really worry about that too much. So it's not just that, but it's the budget, it's getting the site all set up, it's all the business expenses, the taxes. And I'm just like to myself, I got to get like a consultant or something. Just find some weird, random business consultant. Just like hold your hand a little bit because of your autistic limitations that you were given. So you just got to deal with it, trademark, stuff like that. And not only that, you got to get all the definitions for all the numbers because let's just put it this way. The divination that I use incorporates the tree of life, and it's not the Judaic tree of life. It started out that way, but I made my own tree, and I have to get all the definitions reordered and redone basically. It's a very syncretic system. It's not just Judaic, it's a bunch of other things. So it's a lot of work. It's trying to basically I found a pattern in the tree of life around the world and found out that there's so much commonality with a lot of them in their mysticisms that there's a hypothesis in my head thinking this must have been a worldwide knowledge at some point, and I have the ability to bring a good chunk of it back together in some kind of syncretic divination format thing where people get to learn about what their spiritual lessons are in this current lifetime, if they so choose to do so, and if it helps them further their own spiritual path in this incarnation. It's, of course, completely up to them. So, yeah, there's that too. I want to talk more about it, but I need to get it copyrighted because I had my stuff stolen from me before, and I don't want that to happen again. So yeah, I've got the lawyers, but I really should get those forms going because apparently I heard it takes 8 months to even get a copyright in through the door and get it done, which is ridiculous, but welcome to America because, yeah, America is basically a corporatocracy, and if you're not a corporation, then you're just a wage slave or you're just useless, according to these companies apparently who worship paper, pieces of paper and consider themselves worthy if you have enough pieces of paper. I don't know why they think they're worthy if they have, green rectangular piece of paper that has a whole bunch of Illuminati art on it. Maybe it makes them think they're intelligent than somebody else. It's like, oh, I'm going to put all this art on it, and if they don't get it, that means we're smarter than them. Yeah, that's what it means. And they've been doing it for a couple hundred years. Well, the latest, the one that has right. The dollar that we have is 100 years or so, but they've been doing this for a couple hundred years overall is what I'm talking about. So, but anyway, yeah. And I think a lot of the faith issues is because it's not just about money. You got to go out there and help people. It's that's what really matters. It's not really about money. The number one thing, it used to be the number one thing for corporations was to help people. Give people a product. And money was secondary. And now it's reversed. Now everybody wants these, pieces of paper, and then they'll help people second. It's the job I work at, quality was number one, and quantity was, number two, and now it's the reverse. They only care about numbers, but in the wrong way. So quality has gone down the tubes. It's just now I just feel like a hypocrite for working there, and this is, I guess, a motivator in some respects to getting this going. So. Yeah, I figure with this video, I try to be more like myself a little bit more. I think I'm starting to open up a little bit more, and I definitely speak a lot faster, as you can see. So, yeah, I guess that's the lesson for being more spontaneous, I guess, and just not worrying about things in the back of your head, just getting rid of all those expectations, which may not actually be real. Which are actually just an extension of some silly fear that doesn't really exist, but trying to prove its existence. So, and I just got a low battery warning. Okay, well, I guess I should end the video then. So thanks for watching and have a good day.